So my name is Aliaksandr Birukou, and my talk is a little bit diverse from biomedical talks which you heard previously, and it's about non-English language publications. And I think it's important to talk about non-English publications because it adds another aspect to diversity. Like we all know about gender diversity, race diversity, and so on. A lot of people work on this, but when we speak about scientific publications, we pretty much think about a paper like this. So it's written in English, some names, graphs, and tables inside, and so on. Then it's submitted to a journal, peer-reviewed in English, and it's published in a high-impact journal, or maybe not so high-impact journal. And yeah, that's it. So kind of boring. But if you start looking into details, you know, like there are 3 authors from Spain here. Do you think they interacted English among themselves? And like, if you think about countries which publish internationally and so on, in most of those countries, their native language is non-English, and a lot of science is basically done not in English language. And that kind of still leaves us with expectations that the best results would be published in international journals in English. But do we really believe that if somebody can write in good English, they're better scientists? So like, let me introduce you to the other world. So for those of you who cannot read Russian, this is Algebra и Logika, or Algebra and Logics. It's a journal published for more than 60 years from Novosibirsk branch of Russian Academy of Sciences. And if you look inside, then you can see pretty much the same articles, you know, like titles, abstracts, DOIs, and so on. When it comes to the language of mathematics, it becomes pretty universal, right? But for the rest, the paper is in Russian, so it's peer-reviewed in Russian, and there are also references. If you look at the reference, actually, so most of them are in English. So even though you can think, why would I care about this like Russian journal publishing in Russian and so on? This paper is deeply rooted into scientific literature because it based on English reference, and even for those people who are cited here, it might be useful to know like who cites they and how they cite it, right? And then this is just one of roughly 8,000 journals just in Russia, publishing in Russian and some other languages and peer-reviewed. There are also even more journals which are not peer-reviewed, so I'm not talking about those. And if you look at countries like Ukraine, Latvia, Uzbekistan, Belarus, some other countries from ex-Soviet Union, roughly 300 of those journals are translated. And here meet Algebra and Logics, this time in English. And below you can see that it's translation of Algebra and Logika. And you can find the very same paper here. In this case, it will be in English. And the references will be also in English. And this is one example. So it's called cover-to-cover translation. You have one journal, you take all articles, translate it in another one, and publish in English. But there is also a composite journal example. So in this case, this journal has 4 sources translated from Russian or Ukrainian. And again, like if you look at each paper, you can see from which journal it's translated. And you again like have everything in English here. This program of journals was started after the Second World War. It's lived through the Cold War and so on. It was very beneficial business founded by ex-US Army veteran Earl Coleman. And it grew through, it was called Consultants Bureau, then Plenum was bought by Kluwer was merged with Springer became Springer Nature. And now these 25,000 articles a year published by Springer and Pleiades Publishing. And then now with the advantages of open access and so on, there is also another type of translation. So here we were speaking about one language to another, Russian, Ukrainian to English. In this case, this Russian journal found an English paper which they really liked. It was published in Frontiers of Neurophysiology. It was about like new models of peer review. They translated it into Russian. You can do it in the CC BY world of open access because this license allows you to translate and just acknowledge the original publication. No need to ask the authors. And so in this case, again, like we're dealing with 2 versions of the article. It's reviewed in this case in English in the source journal, but the final publication in this case in Russian. And if you think about those, like the problem which comes is this research evaluation or scientometrics, because some of them would cite the original version, some of they cite the translated version. So I want to leave you with this thought here. And next time you think about research evaluation or promotion or hiring decisions, think that English language publications are only the tip of the iceberg. And there is a lot of publications in other languages there. And I would like to thank the organizers of SciFu. SciFu 2019 was a great fun. So I hope to be at one of those events in the future and see you all there.